Today we're talking about Sonya. I don't know if you're watching this video and you don't know who Sonya is. Sonya Massey. Basically, she's a lady in America that called the police because she felt like somebody was intruding, or she felt like she saw an intruder, around her house. So she called the police to, get some protection, to have them look around the house to make sure everything was safe and, no one is trying to break into her house. So that's who the lady was. So she called the police, let them know, hey, I think there's an intruder. The police came. I think it was 2 police officers. They came to her house. They were, conversing with her, asking her what was going on. She explained to them that she thinks there's somebody outside her house. I watched, the body cam footage of all of this, and she was explaining to them what was going on, and for some reason that led to them asking for her ID, because I'm still confused why, if somebody calls you for help, why you're asking for their ID. You don't need ID to help somebody. Literally, they're a human. ID is only needed if you think somebody's committing a crime and you need to identify who they are, just in case you need to contact them later. You literally have her home address. She called you. I'm pretty sure when she called, she said her name, because the first thing you do with, emergency services, they ask you what your name is. That whole bit to me just seemed like an excuse. Anyway, she told them, I'll go inside my house to give you my fucking ID, because of course she doesn't have it right there on her. She goes right inside her house. They follow her in, which is strange. Why are you following her in? The intruder is outside, not inside. Black. You okay, baby boy? Come here. Okay. That's my cat. He's very vocal. Say hello. Ooh, don't scratch me. What I was saying, I don't know why they followed her inside. It doesn't make any sense. They should have stayed outside, because they didn't have any warrant or anything. They should have stayed outside. She should have gone inside, get her belongings. Get the ID as they requested, which they didn't even need to request in the first place. And then showed it to them if they needed that for whatever reason, and that, would have moved on from that situation. But it's the fact that she's literally a single black woman alone in her house, and it's 2 big giant white men in fighting gear, basically, because police uniform is fight gear, entering her house. I wouldn't let even like a plumber come in my house if my husband wasn't around. I won't let the Amazon guy come into my house if my husband was not around. I won't let anybody come into my house if my husband is not around. Doesn't matter if you're the police. I will not let no man come into my house when I'm alone. That is like rule 101 as a woman or as a girl or whatever. You just don't let yourself be around men. Especially if more than one man is a big no-no. So that in itself is no. In the UK, Sarah Everard, you see what happened? In general, I thought it was already known. Women, as a man, you don't overpower women in numbers. You're not 2 men showing up to a woman. I thought they're supposed to respond with a woman. I thought that's the whole thing. When it's opposite gender, you're supposed to have... Anyway, I am a bit glitching at the moment. But they followed her in, which they were not supposed to do. And apparently she was boiling hot water. She was boiling water. She probably just forgot on... She probably was literally in the middle of making herself a cup of tea, and she's like, I think somebody's intruding in my house. And also from what I learned, I've learned recently, she had some schizophrenic related disorder. So that's why she thought somebody was intruding. And all she needed was the police officer to patrol around her house and tell her it's okay, calm down. Simple as that. This is probably something that happens to her recently. She probably didn't think that it was that serious, and she just needed reassurance. That's why she was still boiling tea. Because she probably wasn't even taking it that seriously. She just wanted reassurance, because we are allowed to feel fear. We are allowed to feel fear as black women, and we should be allowed to feel reassurance. So if she's afraid, if you're afraid someone is intruding in your house, you can't even express or work on that fear because there's bigger fucking fear coming. What the fuck was that? And then he tells her, get up and get the pots. For whatever fucking reason, the house is gonna burn down some bullshit. Why didn't he just go turn off a stove? Doesn't he know how to turn off a fucking stove? You can go watch the full video of what happened, because I don't know, I'm feeling really funny about trying to recount what happened. He basically shoots up point blank, and I watched a later on video of him talking about how she said, I'll rebuke you in the name of Jesus, and she poured water on him. When you watch the video, she did none of that. So he's straight up fucking lying, saying she did things she did not do. Like when black people say I rebuke you all the time, Africans, we say I rebuke you. Like me, I mean, I don't say it all the time, but I used to be like, wallahi. Like I used to just be like, wallahi, because I am African, I'm Ugandan, that's what we do. We say these names in vain, I guess, and we do not mean it in a malicious way. When you hear her tone, she was not trying to be like, you evil, I rebuke you. It was almost like, I don't get your joke, so I rebuke you. It was almost like when your friend is being a bit funny, you'll be like, oh, what are you on? I rebuke that. She was trying to be funny about it. She thought we were having a rapport, and all of a sudden, and I'm like, what do people want from black women, man? What do they want from black women? What do you want from black women? Of course, are you two men in fighting gear? In fighting gear with a gun, with batons, with lasers, think you're threatened. That was not even crossing my mind. I was not trying to think of threatening. I'm just trying to make sense of how a very simple interaction where not once, I know for a fact in her brain, she did not comprehend that she was going to die. Not once. Not once. Like to me, even when I was watching it, when she fell down, my brain, I didn't even like register the gun. Like I knew the video was about her getting mad at, but like my brain didn't even register the gun. My brain almost felt like, oh, she's gonna get her face burnt with warm water. My brain was like, oh, the whole water's gonna burn. Imagine you're dying with water burns and you're so confused how you getting water from a pan equals to a gunshot in your head. Like that's why I'm trying to make sense of the situation, how it just escalates like that, because that is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Like, I just don't know how that equates to sometimes there's provoking. Do you know what I mean? And I don't mean provoking because the person is trying to agitate. I'm trying to say somebody can be in a bad mood and you stare at them badly. And that is provoking. Do you know what I mean? That type of shit where you're just living your life and that could provoke somebody. But it didn't even seem like he was provoked. That's what I'm trying to say. He didn't even seem provoked. It seemed like he went there on a mission specifically to murder her. It seemed like he went there knowing that's what he was going to do. And he literally probably telling her to go take the water as a gesture. Because he's just like, what in this room can cause possible deniability? Warm water. And in my head, it's like, what do you want from black women? What do you want from us? You okay, baby? Come here. Come give me a cuddle. What can we do? And also, Jesus Christ, if I get a fucking comment about anything, any fucking ugly comment, I swear to God, I'm gonna make sure that your entire channels get fucking taken down. I will make it my fucking mission that I will track down every single fucking channel you make with your fucking hate comments, and I'll make sure you'll never fucking watch YouTube ever again. You okay, friend? Come here. Quick. So no fucking hate comments in this situation. You cannot just be like, she was resisting arrest, she was doing, no, none of that shit in this case. Just respect the woman and just humanize her. Do what the fucking dickhead did not do. I just make the video because I just need to converse about it. I just need to talk about it and just, I'm glitching, I guess I'm glitching. I wrote a poem about it. I think I'm gonna try and read that poem in a separate video that I will make because I feel like that's more concise than this video that I'm trying to make, because I'm just so flabbergasted, because that's all of us. With most of these situations, as a black person, as however silly it is, because of, respectability politics, you could say, I will never be out there selling CDs. I will never, I don't know. Like, you're more likely to tell yourself you will never be in that situation, if you know what I mean. It's like, I am not a driver. I'm never going to be stopped for a car problem. I'm disabled, I can't drive. So it's like there is so many reasons you could tell yourself, as in like could not be in those situations which you could be, but with this situation there is zero deniability that could have been any of us. It's a black woman today, tomorrow it's a white woman, then the next day it's a poor white man, and then they'll come for you for the not rich one, but if you know what I mean. They start all this shit on us. The more you let them get away with hurting black women, the more you let them get away with hurting us, black women. Every single thing you let the establishment do to black women is what's coming to you, because they do it on us first. They do it on us first. They invade our houses first, and then they're coming to your house. You keep quiet because your door is locked right now, but they're coming to break in. We need to protect black women, even selfishly, so you can protect yourself. I just feel sorry for her kids. She had 2 kids. She had 2 kids. Now, like... all she did was be afraid. She was just afraid, and she called the police to help her be less afraid. It's like a black woman, you can't even afford fear. You can't afford to be afraid, Jesus Christ, because if you're afraid... because if you're afraid, you die. She still thought it was a joke. To the point where she was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. She even apologized. She said, oh shit, sorry. She apologized. Her last word was, I'm sorry, before she died. If you turn off the camera, her last words was, I'm sorry, before she died.